The Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment, also known as ACE, said on Wednesday it had teamed up with police in Egypt to close down Stream East, which had been visited more than 1.6 billion times in the past year. It allowed millions to access pirated streams of sports such as Premier League football matches, Formula One races, and Major League Baseball games. ACE chairman Charles Rifkin said it was a resounding victory in its fight to detect, deter, and dismantle criminal perpetrators of digital piracy. With this landmark action, we have put more points on the board for sports leagues, entertainment companies, and fans worldwide, he said. The clampdown comes after a report earlier this year found illegal sports streaming was taking place at an industrial scale. Sports broadcasting is a business with the total value of media rights across the world passing the 60 billion mark, 44 billion euros last year. With rising costs of rights deals being passed on to fans at home and compounded by the need for subscription to multiple platforms showing different matches, some have resorted to illegal streams. Yes, and I that's how I was watching the NFL all last year. That's how I was watching any of my out of market games because I'm not paying for NFL Sunday ticket. So I was watching, I was using this. I was using Stream East. That's how we watched all the pay-per-views. That's how I was watching everything, anything that I didn't have cable for. Because I talk about me cutting the cord all the time. And a lot of these leagues have not adapted to being on streaming platforms yet. So I'm happy that we are starting to see football on Netflix. We have boxing. 'Cause I just asked somebody, well, yo, where you watching that Canelo Crawford fight? Well, and then I forgot, like, wait up, it's gonna be on Netflix, so I don't need to go nowhere. I don't need to go to a bar or nothing like that. I can watch it in the comfort of my own home. Um, let's see. Let's see here. But yeah, it just sucks that like all these different streaming platforms, you need a bunch of them, and then you need all these subscriptions, and then there's levels that don't even unlock live sports, and then you got to just figure stuff out. So it ends up being more anyway. So it says, according to Ace, traffic to Stream East's various domains had originated primarily from the UK, US, Canada, Philippines, and Germany. The Athletic reported two men had been arrested in El Sheikh Zayed near Egypt's capital, Cairo, by police on suspicion of copyright infringement. It said authorities had seized laptops and smartphones suspected of being used to operate the sites during a raid, as well as cash and credit cards. Police found links to a shell company in the UAE, which had allegedly been used to launder 4.9 million euros of advertising revenue since 2010, as well as 150,000 euros in cryptocurrency. All right. Um, yeah, so and then I guess one last part. It says the game of whack-a-mole. Ed McCarthy, chief operating officer of sports streaming platform DAZN, DAZN, I think it's called DAZN Group. Welcome its takedown. This criminal operation was siphoning value from sports at every level and putting fans across the world at risk, he said. People trying to access Stream East domains or sites will now be redirected to an ACE webpage suggesting channels they can watch legally, it said. Ben Woods, an entertainment analyst at uh, Media Research, said the site shutdown may be a win for broadcasters, but would ultimately fail to stop the game of whack a mole facing those trying to tackle live sports piracy. He told the BBC the high costs people face to watch sports legally were among a cocktail of forces continuing to fuel illegal streams. And he said a younger generation of sports fans had become accustomed to getting content for free on social media who may not have the job security or cash to pay for access. Cracking down on pirates directly is one part of the solution, Mr. Wood said. Only by exploring ways to make live sports more accessible will this issue become less of a problem for major sports leagues. So here's the thing. I think yes, it was taking money away from the sports leagues. It was, but the fans, we don't care about that. We just want access. We want better access. We want quick access. And I am grateful because I did see because I watched the game on Prime NFL game, and it said the NBA is coming to prime. So like, it's about time. I said like, yo, ratings for the NBA is gonna go up, man. I don't know how many nights a week they're gonna run the NBA on Prime, but like, hopefully it's a couple different nights a week. Hopefully it's a couple different games. It's not just like one game. Hopefully they play like the 8 o'clock game, with 7:30 game, and then like the West Coast game, which probably starts at like 10. So hopefully, but we'll see. We'll see that where that is. But like, yeah, fans just want to see stuff. And there's all these different subscriptions. You got to get Sunday ticket for NBA for the NFL. You got to get League Pass for the NBA. And then, not necessarily all the games are quality. NFL Sunday Ticket makes the most sense because like most people watch football whether it's their team or not nowadays, especially with fantasy. But I don't know. And you're going to get better quality in an NFL regular season game than you are an NBA regular season game. So yeah, so it is crazy that it's finally shut down. I'm gonna have to find a new site. I didn't even advertise this. Like I would be online and I would like be on the hush hush. But it's crazy how like they got booked in Egypt. So like was this app originated in Egypt? Like it makes sense. Stream East if it's east of the Prime Meridian. Maybe that's what they meant. I always thought it was like East Coast, but like, yeah, you could literally watch pay-per-views on this joint. So that's why I used it and I was excited about it. But yeah, we'll see where we go from there, man. But RIP to Stream East, and yeah, man, if you got the link for me, if you got a website for me, let me know because I will. I'm not too proud to pirate live sports. All right, figure out how to make it accessible to all the fans. Or yeah, and that's the thing. If people ain't watching, y'all gonna tank. So like, figure it out. I mean, and y'all, it sound like y'all hating. Sound like y'all hating, but it is what it is. All right, moving on. Moving on. Last topic. Last topic. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yo, let's talk about it. So I said I was gonna record this before the Thursday night game, but then I said nah, cause like then now I'm gonna miss it. I had to watch the game, so I had no time to record after. So I was like, nah, we gonna record and yes. So I'm talking about my Green Bay Packers. So go Pack go. They are off to a 2-0 start. So the Packers start 2-0 for the first time since 2020, and the last time they started 2-0 and beat two playoff teams in the process was back in 2007. So with those two wins, the Packers became just the fifth team since the AFL NFL merger in 1970 to open their season with two straight victories over teams who won at least 12 games in the previous season. The Lions went 15-2 last year, while the Commanders finished 12-5. I gotta say, man, the Packers look very strong in both performances. The offense was clicking. Um, they have a balanced attack, right? So with Josh Jacobs, man, like Josh Jacobs is scary running that football, man. Like he's running and it looks like he don't have no room, and then before you know it, he's like already 8 yards through the pile or 8 yards down the field, and he does have the ability to like break one open, and so like yeah, he's a weapon, man. He's a goal line back. I noticed that we do put like a receiving back in there, to kind of spell him a little bit, trying to keep him fresh. But yeah, like Josh Jacobs is the truth, man. And with Jordan Love, it's clear, and I was unable to see the first game. I'm only going by all the film and highlights that I seen, scores, box scores I kept up with. But I wasn't able to see that first game because my son had a football game that ran late, right? And so I couldn't necessarily see it the in the Lions game, but I seen it in this Commanders game. And Jordan Love is, man, he is ready to air it out, man. Like there's so like once he gets his timing right with a guy like Matthew Golden, or Romeo Dobbs, or when Christian Watson comes back, we got other people. Jaden Reed is hurt unfortunately now, for the next several weeks. But yeah, once we get a rapport and like, cause Matthew Golden almost caught a bomb or two, man, and I'm like, we just got to work on that, man. But yeah, man, they look strong in both performances. And it's crazy in the Commanders game, right? The one that happened on Thursday night, we saw Tucker Craft continued his emergence, right? So like you know, his rookie season, we saw that Luke Musgrave, who was the tight, because we drafted two tight ends at once. We drafted Luke Musgrave and Tucker Craft, and Musgrave had got hurt, right? And Musgrave was actually like that. We was excited about Musgrave. We was calling Musgrave like they was calling him Baby Kittle, baby Kelsey, and like we were excited about Musgrave. Musgrave got hurt.